This video will examine the 15 low-cost survival items that will likely outlive you and will see you through an extended disaster. If you find that you don't have one or two of them, get them. If you have them but not all in one bag, build that bag now. Don't hope to gather all these things together in your big hurry to get to higher ground and survive, or whatever your emergency case may be. I tried to focus these 15 items on low-cost options, but I didn't rank them according to importance. This will depend on the disasters you face. I'll post a link to each of these items below, so let's jump in. Download the Start Preparing Survival Guide to help you prepare for any disaster. I'll post a link in the description and comments section below, or visit cityprepping.com/get started for a free guide to help you get started on your journey of preparedness. Multi-tool. Fingers softened by punching a keyboard all day won't respond well to twisting wire, and you don't want to risk dental damage by trying to cut or break things apart with your teeth. A good, well-built multi-tool just might save your life. These come in many different brands with a range of features. Some people swear by certain brands: Leatherman, Gerber, Mossy, and more. Whatever you select, make sure it has pliers, a cutting mechanism, a serrated edge, and a file of some type. Then, put it to the test and use it frequently. Make sure it's sturdy and you know how each tool works. Whether fashioning a fishhook from a soda pull tab, cutting wire and rope, or pulling a tooth or nail, you'll be glad you had one of these in your inventory. 550 paracord, duct tape, bungee cords. The use of cordage and duct tape is without limitation. From tying down a structure or setting up a rain tarp, you are only limited by your knowledge of how to use them. Pay up for a good paracord and understand its issues. Do the same for duct tape. There's a big difference between Gorilla all-weather duct tape and the silver stuff you can buy for cheap. You don't want to find out it's cheap tape or cord when it's raining on you. As for bungee cords, from tying things down to fashioning a makeshift bow or slingshot to functioning as a belt for your pants, a bungee cord is a go-to item that should be in your inventory. It's a compression device with a built-in clasp, basically, so you'll find it helpful in many different situations. Water filtration and treatment. Without water, you won't survive 3 days. Consider a life straw or mini Sawyer. These won't be a permanent solution for you, but 1,000 or 100,000 gallons of water will get you a lot further down the road than a case of dysentery. Consider 2 germicidal water purification tablets. While these won't filter toxins, they will kill all biological organisms in your water. You can easily get both of these solutions in your pack at just a few ounces of weight, so make this survival essential an absolute priority. Tarp and heavy-duty trash bags. Tarps and heavy-duty trash bags will allow you to haul things, direct rainwater, store items, or even allow you to construct a makeshift shelter or a poncho to protect you from the elements. Simply having an instant roof over your head when you're out in the elements could mean the difference between life and death. Even if it's not that extreme of a situation for you, having the plastic to dispose of waste or cover a storm-damaged roof can turn a bad disaster into a minor disaster. Here too, you can have a thick tarp and thick contractor-grade trash bags in your bag for barely any weight. Fire starters and candles. If I had just one means to start a fire, a lot could go wrong. If I had just one accelerant, it would be a wax candle. I suggest you have multiple means of starting a fire, from regular old Bic lighters to matches to ferro rods. Getting a fire going is essential, and not everyone is an expert of getting fire from 2 sticks. Because of this, candles make lighting a fire so much easier, or can simply be used for the light they provide. When placed on a beginning fire with the wax dripping, you'll have an inferno in just a few minutes. Crank or solar charger light. You need some power, even if it's just to charge up a flashlight or smartphone. A hand crank charger or a small solar battery can generate the electricity you need. Some have built-in emergency radios, flashlights, and other features. Read the reviews to ensure you're getting a quality unit. You will burn calories operating a hand crank charger, but you will also function with fewer electrical requirements. Tactical multi-use flashlight. Remember playing with Dad's trusty old metal flashlight that took 2 D-cell batteries and had 1 bulb? You might still have it around to this day. It's time to upgrade. Flashlights have advanced 1,000 times over since then. They have become very bright and rechargeable. It's time to upgrade your flashlight. A headlamp frees up your hands, and be sure to pick up a light with a red light to reduce drawing attention to yourself and maintaining your night vision. Leather gloves, hat, rain jacket, fleece jacket, socks, and shoes. Your first layer of protection from the elements is what you're wearing. If a disaster strikes and you're 30 miles from home and dressed business casual, you may find it challenging to get back home. Having a hat, rain jacket, fleece jacket, socks, and an old pair of walking shoes or sneakers in your bag can put the odds back in your favor. And if you're going to be out in the wild for any amount of time, I always recommend leather gloves. Some gloves these days look excellent and sturdy, but they're not. They tear easily or separate. I've never had a leather glove fail me once. Walkie-talkies or ham radio. The one-way communication of your emergency radio that may come with your crank charger is excellent for finding out the threats around you. A walkie-talkie or ham radio is better because it will provide two-way communication. You do need to get a license to operate legally for the ham radio, but during an emergency it's not required. You may just monitor the chatter or look for responders or survivors of whatever disaster has befallen you. Having at least some form of two-way communication in your group is a game changer. Stainless steel sealable container. Having a lidded stainless steel container isn't something you might think you need, but after a disaster you'll be glad to sterilize water in it, even carry water in it. You will want non-insulated stainless steel you can put on or near a fire if you have to. Have at least one in your everyday carry bag. If all you ever have to do is heat up some water to pasteurize it and make it drinkable, you'll be glad to have these. Hatchet, fixed blade knife, folding saw. Hatchets, knives, and folding saws come only in two styles, cheaply made or good. Invest in a fixed blade knife for processing wood, hunting, cutting, setting up camp that is preferably a full-tang knife. The folding saw is useful on small logs and branches. The hatchet is a long-term solution. A fixed blade knife will serve you much better than a pocket knife will. All of these can be used for self-defense as well. Area map and orienting compass. After disaster, street signs and landmarks may be non-existent. Roads may be impassable. I suggest that you have an area-specific map of no more significant than 50 miles around you in a simple orienting compass. Sometimes you have to get from point A to point B, but you have to go through point G to get there. Have at least some hard copy navigation tools in hand to get you where you need to go when your GPS isn't working, even if you know the typical route. First aid kit. No matter where you get your first aid kit, always think of it as a starter for you to build upon. You want to make sure that the band-aids genuinely stick. You want to make medicines in there you know are up to date and provide the broadest of treatment regimens. Also, you want to make it small and portable. Whether it's a minor scrape or a significant trauma, you absolutely need a first aid kit in your bag. Seeds and food. Have some freeze-dried foods, calorically dense bars, and maybe some seeds. It doesn't hurt to have all these in your bag. Sometimes you need just a quick meal to clear your brain fog and restore nutrient levels. Additionally, depending on where you may be forced to bug out to, and for the potential amount of time you may be stuck there, having seeds may help in your next evolution of survival. With their size and weight, it's not a bad consideration. Sunscreen and insect repellent. Often forgotten but part of your shelter, you need sunscreen and insect repellent. If you've ever been eaten alive by bugs or had sunburn so bad you blistered and it hurt to move, you know how important these can be. For minor and temporary disasters, any sunscreen will do. For insect repellents, they range from the natural to the extreme. You use what works best for you and your skin type, but get these protective layers in your bag. I know there are many other things you could consider an essential survival item, and I'd welcome any feedback or comments that you have below on this. I wanted to focus on very low cost and lightweight items here. If you have each type of these 15 in your emergency stash and you know how to use them, you will be far better off than most people after a disaster. Your odds of survival will be exponentially higher. Suppose you have all these items already. Great. Are they all in the same bag or backpack? If not, you need to get them all together. After disaster is not the time to try and remember where you put everything or where you last used it. Your goal is to put one of each of these items in more in a single backpack. Then store that backpack in the closet by your door, under your desk at work, or wherever you spend most of your time and would most likely be when disaster strikes. I have a similar kit in my car and in my bug-out bag. I have bags for my kids and my wife. What do you think? What's your go-to survival essential? Did I cover it here? Let us know in the comments below. I try to read the comments and respond to them when I can, and that's typically within the first hours of releasing a video. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to be notified when I release a video, and give this video a thumbs up to help the channel grow. As always, stay safe out there.